Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Wednesday, October 5th. It is 6:23 right now. Market's in open in about 7 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and set up this room real quick, and then we can get started shortly. So it's going to be a few moments to finish doing these updates, and then we can get started with our session for this morning. All right, a couple more things here to update. It's good. It's good. All right, one more thing here. And I think we're good to go. Let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. All right, looks good. Get a few moments for people to make their way in. So, all right, guys, good morning, everybody. If you guys saw my post not too long ago, I took these pre-market trades right here. Basically, I saw these K2SR rejections and they look really good. Spread was only like 180, so I was like, okay, might as well take them. So there's one entry right here, which I took. Price rejected off the structure. We had a sell momentum. Trend meter was red. Price was swinging below the pivots over here. So I took the sell over here. Soon after, there was another entry that came up about a minute later, and I took that one as well, both full TPs. So these are the pre-market trades that I took. We'll see if we can find some more as price continues to move along. So as people make their way into the room, I'm going to start off by marking up the areas of K2SR zones here. And then we can get started with our analysis for this morning. One thing that I'm going to start doing as well, which is what I used to do a long time ago, is we'll try to look at the to just have a better idea as to like what direction price is going. We'll look at what the trend bias is on the higher time frames, and I'll show you what I mean by that. I'll leave like a text up, and then I'll look at the higher time frames and just see where everything's going, so that we can see if market is actually moving directional. Because typically when they move directional on the higher time frames and they align with the lower time frames, which is why we have the trend meter down here, it definitely helps. So we will use that to our advantage. So let's see who's here. Morning, Peter. Morning, Maria. Morning, Karen. Morning, iPhone. Morning, everybody. 6:26 right now. Market's going to open up shortly. So I'm going to start off by looking at the retail sentiment. Retail sentiment is currently, and I'll just write it down over here. Let me just write it. And I'm just going to carry this along with me on all time frames. So retail sentiment, fundamentals, we'll go up to the 4-hour trend, 1-hour trend, $30-minute trend, 15-minute trend, 10-minute trend. So I think that's all that's really important. So looking over here at the retail sentiment is currently 54% long. So let's put 54% long. Fundamentals are currently negative 340 points. There's no zones down here, so there's not going to be entries for us to take anyways. Let's go over here to the 4-hour real quick. So the 4-hour trend is neutral. One-hour trend is bullish. So this gives you a better idea as to like where the direction is really lying, right? Because it shows you how they're all kind of different. And we'll update them as price goes along, but this will give you a better understanding as to like, you know, where we should be looking, because the 1 minute doesn't necessarily tell you everything, right? So looking over here on market open, our retail sentiment was currently, I think it was 54, not 60. Yeah, 54 actually. It was 54% long, indicating that 54% of retail traders are currently buying right now. So you typically want to do the opposite and sell. However, it's not very strong. It's very weak. It's only at 54%. And we typically want it to be above 60%. Fundamentals were currently 340 points in the red. So both of these are indicating some sort of sell. 4-hour trend is neutral. 1-hour trend is bullish. 30-minute trend is neutral. 50-minute trend is bearish. And the 10-minute trend is bearish as well. So as you guys can see right here, there's no alignment, right? All of the confluences here regarding trend, fundamentals, and retail sentiment are kind of pointing in different directions. So you want to be a bit careful with these entries here, if and when you guys do decide to take any of these entries. So we'll keep looking for entries here. You know, I'm just being more careful and being more assertive with our confluences here, because, you know, I just hate losing trades. Yesterday I lost a trade, and it was a trade that I shouldn't have taken. So, you know, I'm changing up my whole morning routine and being a little more careful, not really careful, but more assertive, you know, confirming what everything looks like on all the other time frames, so that I don't end up, you know, in a situation like that again. Because I've been fumbling to some trades because of, you know, the market has just been like all over the place. But now I want to focus to make sure that everything is going to be on point. So I'll go back to the 4-hour so often just to see if everything's changed. The 4-hour is actually bullish now. So the 4-hour is bullish. 1 hour is also bullish. 30 minutes neutral. 15 minutes bearish, and then 10 minutes bearish as well. So as you guys can see here, one of two things can be happening. The 1 minute over here could be catching up to the higher time frames, or they can be starting to shift to a sell, right? Because you can see the 4-hour and 1 hour are bullish, 30 minutes neutral. So this can be changing slightly. And these can be changing as well. The 15-minute and 15-minute and 10-minute. So we'll see what happens here. But let me go ahead and take a look at the news for this morning as well. I marked it up yet. So today's October 5th, Wednesday. We had news this morning at 5:15, ADP non-farm employment change. So 5:15 was positive news. $5.15. There's a possible buy right here for a K2SR rejection. Let me follow it and see. So this is a possible entry right here. Actually, it's pushed too far out. So unfortunately, it doesn't look like it'll be an entry here. It's also at news price. So we're not going to take this trade here. I'll follow it, but I'm not going to take it. Let me go back and finish marking this up over here. It's 5:15. The news price and it's positive. Yeah, so it was actually right at news price. So we couldn't take that trade there. Unfortunately, it would have played out really nice, as you guys can see. So unfortunately, no entry there. It was right at news price. We also had news at 5:30, which is neutral. 5:30, which is And here comes a huge spike back down. But yeah, there was a K2SR rejection entry right there, like rejection off the structure, moderate green candle, bullish momentum, bullish trend. And that would have been the entry right there. So unfortunately, we couldn't take that trade because it was right at news price, but it would have hit TP. We got more news over here at 6:45, 7, and 7:30. So 6:45. 7 and 7:30. All right, so here we go. All right, pretty much got everything marked up here. I'll be looking for some variations here, possibly. Maybe not the continuation entries, but probably some variations. K2SR rejection entries. I think this right here has been extended, so actually, never mind. It's just a little area right there. So price is pushing up higher. As price continues to push up higher, I'm going to check to see if, if any of these biases have changed. Still bullish, still neutral. 15 is still bearish, and 10-minute is still bearish as well. So looks like these lower time frames are starting to catch up to the higher time frames because higher time frames are bullish. 30 minutes neutral, 15 minute is bearish, and 10-minute is bearish as well. But it looks like it might be shifting up. Yeah, Maddie just mentioned that all of liquidity here is getting hit. Yeah, literally all liquidity here got knocked out. So you can see right here, pre-market, there was a ton of liquidity just sitting right there. And it pretty much just got wiped out on open over here. So market was like way down here. Price pushed up, knocked out liquidity in all of these areas. Right here, and up here. Literally everything got knocked out. See if there's anything else over here for me to look at. There's not much for us to look at right now. What I'll be looking at and trying to confirm is this 30-minute over here, if the bias starts to change, because it looks like it's going to. What might happen here is price might stabilize a little bit. It might come back down slightly. And then once it's done coming down, it'll come back up because you can't just have a straight push up, right? It'll have to push up a little bit, retrace, push up higher, retrace. And then from there, the 30-minute over here will start to change bullish. So it's still neutral right here. But we'll see that, the more confluences we have here, the better. So we have, it's actually a mixed confluence. So looking over here at retail sentiment, it's pretty neutral. Fundamentals are short, but these trends, the trend over here is completely different. It's bullish. So let's take a look at the fundamentals again, see if they've changed. I'm pretty sure they've changed by now. Yeah, it's dropped quite a bit. It's now just negative 201 because it's pushed up quite a bit. So negative 201 points. But it's starting to shift to the upside. So here we go with the retracement. This is what we were expecting, at least some retracement. So you can't just keep pushing all the way up without any stopping or any pullbacks. All right, here we go. Price comes back down. I probably wouldn't look for any sells here. I'll still be looking at this trend meter down here for any entries. But it seems like price is trying to make its way up. So what I'll be looking for is for price to come down, retrace, reject off structure, and then swing its way back up. So we'll keep an eye out for it here. Still no changes. I actually want a sell signal to come up here so that we can look for a, a variation or something like that. So I'm fine if we get a sell signal there, price comes back down. This is New York open price right here, so it's got a long way to go. The thing that I mentioned yesterday, guys, if you guys can focus on it, is if price comes back to open and pulls below it, then we do not have a directional market yet, right? Try to keep this chart as clean as possible. So market open right here, 6:30. 7 and 8. So it's not really moving. Well, I mean, it was moving directional right here. There's one of two things that can happen. This could have been the fake out right here. And then price started to make its way back down. Opening price is like right here. So it's still got a long way to go. It's not necessarily there yet. But that's the main way you can identify if it's, moving directional or not. Because if it pulls back, it's just in a huge range. It just creates a big range. The price keeps, pulls back below it and just keeps bouncing around. But if price stays above opening price right here, then we do have a good idea where the rejection may be. This right here is a V3, but it's right at news price. So, I mean, obviously I'm not looking to take this trade here. It's right at news price, huge red flag. But this is a V3 that looks like it's pending right now. So just one place I want to keep an eye out on is going to be the 30-minute. I think 30-minute will probably be the it'll be the catalyst for a shift in bias with regard to the trend. But we're going to focus on this here right now. It's pretty mixed, so not a huge deal at the moment. So no V3 there. The candle didn't close proper. There's a K2. Actually, there isn't because it's okay. The trend meter here is starting to turn red. So we got over here. 4 hours still bullish. 1 hour is bullish. 30 minutes neutral. Back to the 1 minute. So not much has really changed here. I mean, it's kind of going back and forth. There is a no, there wouldn't be a K2SR because there's no. So for one, there's news price here, and there's no bullish momentum signal. Let's take a look at sentiment, see if it's changed. It's now at 54. It's been at 54 pretty much for a while now. Fundamentals currently up 270, so negative 270 now. All right, so price is pushing up. There's still no K2SR rejection because there's no bullish momentum. So we're looking for a bullish momentum here. I mean, I'm looking for anything that I can find at this moment. Now that market is starting to move a bit more directional, I'll take a look at variations, but I'm going to have to analyze them before I look at taking them. So I'm still going to be very careful about taking anything other than K2SR rejections, but we're open to, looking at variations and stuff like that. So for the K2SR rejections, basically what we're looking for at the moment is we're looking for bullish momentum. We don't have that yet, but that's basically all we really need here. We have the bullish trend, prices above the pivots are angling up. We just need a bullish momentum, wick rejection off structure with a moderate green candle. And that will set up our entry for a buy. Yeah, I mean, just looking over here at the 4 hour and 1 hour trend, this is why the trend meter is so important that you guys have, because it's easy to just look at the trend, right? So like, for example, here, we just look down at the bottom. I go from the 4 hour, which is green, that's bullish. 1 hour, green, it's also bullish. 30-minute, I just go in half intervals, basically. 30 minutes neutral. So that gives you an idea like where price is currently at. 15-minute, bearish. So you can see that price is trying to shift. It's trying to shift back to the upside because the 4 hour has been pretty much bullish for the past for the past day and 4 hours. So for the past day and 4 hours, price has been bullish here. It's starting to shift to the upside. The 30-minute here is just lagging. It's not there yet. It was bullish here, then it pulled back down, and then it might be shifting back up. So just something to keep an eye out for. We got the bullish momentum there, so that's cool. Fahad did mention there's news coming up in 2 minutes. Thanks, Mehdi and Fahad. We got news right over here, 6:45. News at 6:45 is final services PMI, so inflation news right there. See what happens shortly. We got about 30 seconds till news. All right, news candle's coming in about 10 seconds. There you go, the news candle, market news price right here. It's at 6:45. Check the news real quick, refresh this. The news was same. Neutral. Okay, so we got neutral news right there. So I'm not really expecting too much out of this really. It's just again, some back and forth movements. There's nothing really going on right here. I mean, it's gonna be tough for us to take any variations here. I mean, not variations, K2SR rejections, because there's just news everywhere, right? So what we might have to look for here is we might have to look for some variations instead of these K2SR rejections, unless price drops lower. So an area where I'd be inclined for price to come would be like down here. Come down here, reject off the structure, and then come back up. But here's the problem. If price comes this far below, I think the trend meter will turn blue, because if it does, it's going to be below the pivots. So price can't be that low. I'll keep looking over here at sentiment to see if there's anything that we can derive from the market. $258. All right, so I don't have to change the fundamentals that much. I mean, the main thing that we're looking for here is if it goes below or above 100, right? If this goes above where it's like less than negative 100, or it goes above where it's positive 100, then that's where we need to look at it, because that's where it changes. Right now, it's not that necessary. There goes price pushes up higher. Another issue if price comes above here is the fact that we have the sessions right there. And it's crazy that price is like near these sessions, because when I was trading pre-market, I didn't see any sessions. Now all of a sudden there's just one, but okay, so I guess if price pushes past that, then it'll be fine. But we just got a lot of stuff in the way. So let me see this real quick. Going over to the clean chart. So it's doing what I was mentioning earlier, right? I was mentioning if price comes down below here, then it'll be in a big range. It looks like price is starting to shift back up. So price initially had a bullish push to the upside. Initial bullish push to the upside, retracement, and then now it's continuing back up. I think today's going to be bullish overall. Only reason I think that is because the overall bias over here, or with regard to the trend, is bullish, right? Trend meter for the 4 hour is bullish, 1 hour trend is bullish, 30-minute trend is neutral, but it seems like it'll start shifting to a bullish bias once it closes above this pivot over here. So this 30-minute candle still has about 11 minutes left on it, but I think eventually it'll start to shift to the upside. If that's the case, then we have a shift in trend. So we'll see where that goes. I mean, the fundamentals here are starting to weaken as well. It should be less than 258. It's 216 now, 200. All right, so no entries here still. But yeah, my analysis still stands right now. Currently, it still looks kind of bullish, or I mean for the day at least, because the direction right now is bullish. The main thing that you might want to look out for is if it establishes a new high. If price breaks and closes past this high over here, odds are it's going to keep pushing up higher. If not, it's probably going to range within this area. It looks like it's in a range right now. You might not be able to see it as good right here on the markup chart, but on the clean chart over here, you guys can see it's just in a huge range. I mean, it did move directional, but it's still ranging. Like it had a directional push to the upside, but I mean, realistically, hasn't done much, right? Still within this area. So we'll see where this range has to bring us. Yeah, everything is still pointing towards bullish move. But what I kind of see happening here is that it's just going to stabilize around this area. So you can see already from this area, it's kind of stabilizing. It's I mean, it's been ranging right here on the 30-minute for a while, but it's going to stabilize until it can really make that swing to the upside. So there's nothing that's come up yet. No variations, no, I mean, no, nothing really. The breakout happened right here, though. If you guys saw the breakout this morning at 6:30, this was the strong green candle, direction of momentum. So if you guys take the breakout, that hit full TP. I know we were thinking about looking at the breakouts. Maybe we'll start looking at it again, but we really need to like take a deep analysis on these breakouts to make sure that they're actually moving in that direction. Let's take a look at the 3-minute. 3-minute right here also hit its full TP, it looks like. That was a quick push. So the 3-minute right here also hit its full TP. Looking over here at the 5-minute daily. Five-minute daily is actually, let me go over here real quick. 5-minute daily was right here as well. It looks like it also hit full TP. Actually, I don't know. The initial candle was so big that I can't tell if it hit TP first or stop loss first. So 5-minute daily there, 3-minute daily there, 10-minute daily. 10-minute daily is going to be a buy. Which goes it goes along with our long-term bias over here. Because so this might be something to look at. If you guys still like to take the daily entry, if it does close with a buy signal, it's probably gonna, it's probably gonna hit. Because that is our direction. So if the and you can see right here on the 10-minute, it's starting to turn neutral. So let me check the 15 as well. 15 is still bearish, but the 10-minute here is turning neutral. So if that's the case, you can see that these are starting to shift to the upside, right? Because the 4-hour trend is bullish, 1-hour trend is bullish, 30-minute trend is neutral. 15-minute trend is bearish, 10-minute trend is neutral as well. So if this is turning neutral, then 15 is probably going to be neutral in a bit, and then it's going to start turning bullish. So I think this is something that I will keep an eye out for. 10 minutes. So I'm going to go and set an alert right here. K2 signal, 10-minute signal. So I'll take a look. If it comes over here and it pops up, then I'll take a look over here because this might be a good entry to take for a longer push. Since everything here is starting to push bullish, if the 10-minute follows, I mean, the 10-minute is starting to follow, it's neutral now. If this turns bullish, 15-minute turns bullish or even neutral, and the 30-minute turns, we have the pending momentum there, it's invalid, but let's see. So it has about 5 minutes left on this one, so I'll come back to check on that later. But yeah, I mean, if this thing does start to push to the upside, then it can easily make that shift. A couple of changes right here. 30 is neutral. Seems bearish. 10 minutes neutral. Or it's still bearish. It's not really, I mean, it's going back and forth. But we'll keep an eye on it. But the long term is definitely bullish. So that's going hand in hand with the sentiment over here, because the sentiment's starting to weaken. If it starts to shift to the short side, then it's an indication that retail traders are starting to shift over. Fundamentals here are still around 200. I'll just leave them at 200. It's not really gonna make a difference until it really pushes. There's nothing here on the 1 minute still. No variations. There's technically a variation right here. It looks like a V3. It's pending, not one that I'm necessarily looking to take right now because obvious reasons, but yeah, and by obvious reasons, it's right at the sessions. So we wouldn't be able to take this trade here. And also Dejan mentioned that there's a 5 minute window right here. Yeah, high impact news. So we can't take trades based off news. Also, we couldn't take a trade here to begin with because the stop loss is just way too big. The candle is just too big in general. So see where this goes in the next couple of minutes or so. All right. We still got this pending momentum here on the 10 minute. So I'm not going to necessarily take this, but I'm going to use this as a guide to see where I think price is likely to go to. Because I think if this does close with the buy signal, it's going to hit eventually at some point. I mean, if you guys want to take the daily, feel free to take it at your own risk. I'm not going to take it myself, but I will follow it. Kind of tempted to take it, but we'll see. It's kind of far up. I mean, if I take it, I'd have to take it with a really small lot size because I can't let it eat up my I could probably take it with a smaller lot size and just let it run. Just got to make sure, are all my no, it doesn't look like it's gonna close. So I'm trying to figure out what lot size would I use. Since I use it 100, I should probably use it 10. I mean, we'll see. We got 2 minutes left on this candle. It's a lot of time. It's a lot of back and forth movement. We got news coming up shortly. That's another risk too, because this 10-minute candle closes on news. So the news, high impact news comes up at 7 o'clock. That's when this candle closes. The issue with that is you can enter and things could either go far in your way or could go far against you, because a spike that might happen based off that news, I think it's inflation news, right? There's news here at 7 o'clock, ISM services PMI. Yeah, huge news event right here is high impact. This can easily be a good thing or a bad thing. So I'm probably just gonna not take it, not just follow it. It also doesn't look like it's gonna close anyway, so we'll see. I mean, if it closes, I'll follow it. We'll see where it pushes. I'm expecting news to be negative, so it's probably going to push up. Yeah, Dejan said if it does, I'll take it late. Yeah, no, exactly. It might give you better entry point too if you enter at a drawdown. There's no variations right now. Go back to this 10 minute. 10 minutes still neutral. 15 minutes still bearish. 30 minutes neutral. Back to the 1 minute. All right, so the news candle is coming up shortly. Nice. Yeah, no, definitely. Patrick said 30 lots on 1,500 pips is a 4,000 500 risk. So maybe enter with a 15 lot to reduce risk. Yeah, I was thinking about even entering with a 10. The problem with entering a too big of a lot size, Patrick, is that I don't want it to eat at my leverage, or I mean at my margin. So if I take too big of a position, I won't be able to take another scalp if I see a scalp come later. So that's the main reason why I don't want to enter too big of a position. I probably would even enter with like even lesser, like maybe even like a 10 lot, just to like have some skin in the game, right? And I think that'll help you guys with a lot of your FOMO and over trading. Some of you guys have over trading and FOMO problems. If you guys want to take a risky trade, just take it with a smaller lot size. So instead of losing like $1,000, you're losing like $100 or even $10. I know trading is like a real addiction. Like I know a lot of people who are addicted to trading. The easiest way to reduce your risk is to just lower your lot size. That'll make it impossible for you to blow your account, impossible for you to violate any of your requirements. It just makes things less stressful. So, and there you go with that spike down. Check news real quick. High impact news right here, 7 o'clock. Refresh this. The event was positive, actually. Okay. So it was positive. You can see prices doing the opposite here, of course. And it's doing far opposite. All right, so let me just check this real quick. So this is going to be $7 o'clock US news. Positive, but of course, price is doing the opposite and dropping right back down. See if this corrects back up, which is what I'm assuming, and it's doing that right now. Yeah. I don't recommend chasing it though, guys. Definitely do not recommend chasing it. So some profits here from you guys. Al over here just posted his profits. He's currently up 17,406. Nice work, Al. I was that pretty heavy for the day so far. Patrick here as well. Currently up about 1,000 for the day. Nice work, Patrick. Yeah, it looks like a lot of you guys here took the breakout. It says fundamentals retail sentiment did not line up. Candle entry is not strong, but once it started moving, he took 100 pips off the rip. Yeah, no, definitely. Smart move there. Al again over here as well. Currently up 22,326. Nice work, Al. And then another profit right here. He's now up 24,000 for the day. Wow. That might be a record for you, Al. It's killing it. This was a big move right here you caught. It looks pre-market. Big sell drop, sell off. Another sell right here too. Nice, nice. And here are my profits from pre-market as well. So I locked in about 2,130 off my main account. You can see the green strips. This is my FTMO. Here's my FTMO copier, locked in 2,380. Here's my TFF, locked in 2,339. And then all my MFFs right here locked in about the same. 2,180, 2,180, and 2,180. So not bad pre-market moves for me. I was looking for another entry here, but unfortunately, we just don't have that yet. So here we go. As price drops back down to opening price, right? If price drops past this area here, or even touches it, this is going to confirm that there's no direction right now. However, this drop right here is based off the news. So, I mean, it could be a bit iffy. I mean, it looks like if this is the case where price comes down and retests the opening price, this is going to be a huge range. So instead of looking at this as a directional push to the upside, it's basically a big spike back and forth. And there you go. Price is down to opening price right here. And this is the range. So no direction today. This is what could happen here. So if price comes back up from here, so say this is just a fake out, right? Which is likely what's the case here because this is based off news. If it pushes back up right here, we can just disregard this drop right here and we can still identify it as a bullish push. So let's go over here to the charts again real quick. Let's go to the 10-minute. It is now bearish again. unfortunately. I mean, it doesn't really matter to us if it's bearish or neutral, but it's currently back to bearish. There's no shift in trend. 15 minutes bearish, 30 minutes neutral. So 30 minutes is basically like the middle ground, right? The higher time frames here are bullish, middle one is neutral, and the lower time frames are bearish. So there's no direction here at all. You can see one of two things happening. Either the lower time frames can be shifting the higher time frames, or the higher time frames can be shifting the lower time frames, right? So there's really no direction here. Fundamentals and retail sentiment over here also are not, obviously aligning at the moment. So go over here and see if we can find some sort of entries right at opening price. So again, it's not in a good area to trade specifically. Yeah, I was looking for a K2SR rejection entry here, but there wasn't one at all. There might be one right here. The only problem with this is that it's going to be right at opening price. So unfortunately, we cannot take this trade here. Again, there's too many red flags currently around the area. So this could, it could have possibly been a solid SR rejection, but again, like we were mentioning before, there's no room for it to take trades here. One thing that we can get is if price drops below this point here, retraces from that point, we get a wick rejection off the structure, then we can continue writing it down lower. So we need price to get below this point. Once price gets below that point, we'll have better opportunity to look for entries from there. But until then, we don't really got much to work with here. I mean, either way, there's been no variations. I'm still looking for variations here, but there's no variations at the moment. John said, afraid to check my stocks. SMH, yeah, no, definitely. I mean, the market's all over the place. So we'll see where this goes. There's another possible, well, I mean, either way, we can't take it. It's right at opening price. Slow opening price right here. Let's see. iPhone sent me a video real quick. Let's see. Yeah, so basically the OPEC meeting right now that's going on as well. It's OPEC plus cut to oil production amid fears of higher gas prices. And that's crazy. It's crazy that, like, I mean, because I had to bring my car in for like service, and then I had a loaner car, which is like a Macan, Porsche Macan, and I had to put gas in it. I was like, man, gas prices are crazy. I'm so glad that I got the Taycan, because I had to fill up. It was like $100. It's crazy because if it's like $7 a gallon now and it keeps going up, it's going to be close to like $10 a gallon by like next year, which I don't know. It's crazy because I don't pay for gas, so I don't know how much gas prices are, but it's crazy how much people are paying. Like people who actually drive a lot. Sucks. So yeah, we have the OPEC meeting right now. It's basically going over like not gas prices, but just oil in general. Yeah, Jonathan said, Sean be like, gas, what's that? Yeah, I know. I haven't pumped gas in like 4 years, because before I had my Porsche Taycan, I had a Tesla Model X. So I haven't pumped gas in forever. But it's crazy because I remember the last time I was getting gas prices were like $3-4 a gallon. Now it's like $7, so it's like double. See some news from Peter over here. Peter just gave me a little update on this. Heck. Yeah, so White House races to block expected OPEC production cut. Yeah, no, it's pretty crazy. If they do lower the production of gas, then yeah, gas prices are for sure going to go up, or of oil. Prices are definitely going to be going up. So price is still dancing around this area, guys, where opening prices. This is fine. Like, I don't mind if this happens right here. What I want to happen here is I want price to come below here, reject off the structure, and continue down lower. From there, we can start looking for some trades. Right here, not so often. Not as easy. So the 4-hour trend is actually starting to turn neutral. So this is a sign that, we might be looking for sells now, because if everything starts to shift to the sell side, then that's what we'll be looking for. So these are now looking at these are now looking like a sell, because the 4-hour trend is now neutral. 1-hour trend is probably gonna turn neutral at some point. If that becomes the case, then great. We'll need price to stay below here, and then we can possibly look for these sells here. So it looks like a huge reversal. So like big push right here, big push down. This is why I don't like doing long-term trades on US30. I think US30 is best to be day traded, because you get caught in a mess like this. Yeah, sometimes you can get lucky, catch these big spikes, but most of the time it's not going to happen. You're probably going to get spiked out, or there's a lot of craziness there. Let's see. iPhone said, "Hey Sean, it's me, Kenny. I sent you the YouTube video link. Hello from my iPhone today." Oh, nice. I figured it was you, Kenny, because you're like the person that knows about all this type of new stuff. So I figured, now it's good to see you here on the chat. Looks like you're on your phone for today. But yeah, no, glad to see that you're able to make it in today, Kenny. I know you've been busy lately. All right, so price is coming below the structure here. In order for us to take an entry off this point, we need price to close below the structure, right? Until price closes below the structure, we can't get a wick rejection off the structure. So we need that to happen before we can start looking for some entries here. Go to 240, or not 240, but 4-hour, 1-hour. So the main things I'm looking for here is probably the 1-hour to change the trend bias. So we have a pending K2 SR rejection entry right here. We have the wick rejection. We just need a moderate red candle. If we get a moderate red candle, this would be an entry for a K2 SR rejection. We got to make sure that it's actually pretty solid, right? Like we can't let it be an iffy candle. We also can't let it be too big. So we have the wick rejection right there. So if this closes as a moderate red candle, I will be taking it. Doesn't look like it. It just swung right back up at the last 5 seconds. So no entry here. Quick switch up in the last 10 seconds. Wow. You guys see that? Yeah, MJ said crazy candle. This is why you guys got to be patient and wait for the candle to close, because if you entered like 10 seconds early, you would have been screwed. Market's playing right now. It looked like it would have been a solid entry. All of a sudden, the last 10 seconds, it shot up about like 30 pips or 300 pips. All right, so good thing we didn't fall for that trap there. It's just another matter of time until this thing starts to choose its direction. There's no direction right here. As you guys can see, prices faked out in both ways. It faked out up here, faked out right here, came back up, faked out, triple top, came down super heavy, faked out right here. And here we go back at opening price. So there's not really too much to work with here. Price is really just going back and forth. It looks like it's establishing a range down here now. So the range was up there earlier, now it's down here. Yeah, it looks like it's just going to bounce around opening price right here. So I guess we can take a look again, see where everything's sitting. Let me look at the sentiment. Sentiment hasn't changed at all. So a lot of this movement in the market is not from retail traders. There's not people entering and exiting the market. Right now, it's just market makers pretty much screwing with everybody. Just going back and forth. A lot of these are just long-term holds because it's at 54 pretty much all morning. The price has been moving a lot. So if you look at the range here, so market opened right here at 630. Price has pushed about 1,600 pips and about 400 pips down below. With that said, none of that movement here was based off retail traders. This has been at this percentage pretty much all morning. The fundamentals over here are shifting around a little bit, so it should be above 300 points now. So we'll just change that to 300. But the 4 hour, so let's go back to the 4 hour 240 real quick. Still neutral. 1 hour is bullish still. 30-minute neutral, 15-minute bearish, 10-minute bearish, 1 minute bearish as well. So, I mean, it looks like price is trying to make its way down. It's just having, a lot of road bumps here. Here we go again for another attempt. So price is pushing down below this area. One thing that we have to look out for is price to close below the zone here. If it doesn't close below, there's not going to be any opportunity for us to look for an entry here. We got a sell signal here. We need this to close below this zone or within the zone so that we can get a wick rejection off the zone. So 4 hours neutral, 1 hour is bullish, 30 minutes neutral, 15 minutes bearish, 10 minutes bearish. This is probably going to be a good sell if it does close below it. We just need to make sure that all requirements are met. So we need price to close within or below the zone. We have about 30 seconds left on this candle. Once it closes, we can have a better determination whether we're going to have an entry there or not. We need that sell signal as well. So we need the sell signal, and then we need a continuation after it. All right, we got about 4 seconds. We need it to close within the zone or below it. We got it. All right, so now what we need here is we need a wick rejection off the structure, which we don't have yet. And we also need a sell signal to close to confirm the direction of momentum. All right, so let's see what happens here. Again, you guys got to wait for this candle to close. Even if you have to enter late, enter late. I'd prefer you guys enter late and then close out early with partial profit versus entering early and getting the possibility of like being in a bad trade. So got about 20 seconds left on this candle right here. We got to confirm that sell signal. If we don't get that sell signal, no entry. We do have the wick rejection. We also got to make sure the candle's not too big. It's pushing down kind of heavy. No, it doesn't look like it's going to get the signal there. But yeah, it looks like it will. So let's hop into this real quick if we can. See if I can get into it. I'm not in it yet. Letting it pull back a little bit because this candle was a little big. If it comes back down, I'll enter it, and then we'll see where it goes from there. I got to watch it too to make sure. Spread's at 190. It's not horrible. In case I got to pull out early. So still not in it yet, guys. Get the opening price too right here. Comes down, I'm going to fill it. See the price difference, 63. I can't put a sell stop here because the price difference is so, I mean, it's off by like 30 pips. So I'm not in this position yet, guys. I'm waiting for it to come down and fill. Until it comes down and fill, I'm not going to be in it yet. So I'm just waiting for it to come back down. As it drops, there might be a better entry right here, actually. See if this one over here closes. Got about 30 seconds left on the candle. Where I'm at. So it still hasn't filled my order yet. Trying to calculate the MT4 price is 93,930. It's 93,950 here on. Yeah, so it's off by like It's off by like, let me see how many pips. There's actually another entry here. So I can move this up a little higher. Let's see if I can get into here. All right, I'm in it. I'm in it, and it's almost at full TP. Did it hit TP? I can't tell. Spread here is super wide. It's pushing through. All right, it's pushing through. I'm gonna have to manually exit right here. I had to manually exit, guys. This shit it was all over the place. So I had to pull it right there. It hit TP. So if you guys took it, you should pull out right now. It's still in profit. If you guys can pull out in profit. This thing's just moving a little erratic. So I pulled out really quickly, locked in. Let's see. Partial profit. I mean, whatever. The spread was kind of screwing with me. So I locked in about 460. Some slippage, some spread. It's all good. It's still pushing down. So you guys still have opportunity to exit right here in profit. It's probably a blast right through below, and it did again. Should have just held on to it, but it's all good. I'd rather be safe than sorry right now. With these types of entries, it's just the market's all over the place. Jonathan said that was a wild one for me. I entered too early, but he got his profit. MJ, he pulled out in profit as well. All right, yeah. So I'm glad you guys pulled out in profit. For some reason, the alert here didn't go off, but I already pulled out in profit. So I'm gonna go and post up my profits for that real quick. Man, what a freaking weird entry, right? So as you guys can see, the market is moving kind of crazy right now. Let me go and take screenshots of my profits real quick, and then we'll wait for the next one. Yeah, MJ said, good thing, look at this right now. Yeah, it ended up spiking up like super heavy. So good thing that we used our better judgment to pull out of that position, because it could have ended badly right here with a spike to the upside. That's why you have to actively be watching your trade to make sure that you're not getting screwed over. Because the spread was kind of changing too. I was looking at the spread when I entered, it was at like 190, and I looked at it again, it was at 260, and I was like, the market's going to screw with me right now. If it spikes up, I'm going to get caught in that spread. So here are my profits. Let me just take a screenshot real quick. FTMO copier slippage worked in my favor here a little bit. And if you guys have profits to post up, feel free to post them up. Market's still moving kind of wacky, so I'd be a little careful these entries here, not to get too overly confident. DeJohn said, Sean, that glass of ACV just scared the hell out of me. Yeah, no, definitely. Let me finish taking this. I think, let me see if my all right, so my MFFs are the same. I'll just screenshot one of them. There's no point in me screenshotting all three when they're literally all the same. So it's kind of weird. I'm not sure like how MFF works, but like sometimes, I mean, you guys have seen it before. Sometimes it's really on point. Sometimes it's like super off. But today, all the execution times are pretty much on point. So we're looking for another entry here. If you guys have props to post up, feel free to post them up. Here are mine real quick. I gotta make. All right, so I posted one. Here's my FTMO copier, TFF, and then all of my FFs right there. So it's kind of a split bag across the profits for my account. So here's my main account. You can see the green strips, which hit my full TP. I locked in 460 off this account. This is my main one. Here's my copier. I locked in 560, total profit of 2,940. First account, 2,590. Third account over here, my TFF, locked in 400, total profit of 2,700. My MFF over here, locked in 360, total profit of 2,540. Same with my other one, 2,540. And my third one, same thing, 2,540. So, I mean, it's not too bad. I mean, pretty good profit so far for the day, even with that partial move right there. So I've pretty much made back my losses for the week. I had a loss yesterday. I took that FOMO move, which I should not have taken. But it happens, you know, every once in a while I get into these FOMO mindsets, just like everyone else. And it's all good because you bounce back the next day. So pretty good profits right there. Scrolling up real quick, some profits posted by Patrick over here. He said he double dipped into it, locked in a total profit of 4,595. Nice work, Patrick. Yeah, because there was technically two entries there. If you guys saw the K2SR rejection, there was two that were back to back. It was that first one that we took, and then there was another one right after. So nice work double dipping right there, Patrick. See Jonathan over here locked in a total profit of 619 for the day, full TP off that last trade. Nice work, Jonathan. Maddie over here as well. Yeah, he said he's going to take this and sit on his hands. The US30 gives something super clean, which I agree too, Maddie. It's definitely a good decision there. Maddie over here was applying the K2 indicators with odd USD, locked in a total profit of 976. So solid work right there, Maddie. Pre-market, and then he locked in the profit just now, total profit of 1,289 with gold right here. So nice work, Maddie. If there's any other profits you guys have to share, you know, feel free to post them up. Otherwise, we will continue on with the chart analysis for today. There's nothing for us to look at the moment, so we got some time here. All right, so there's nothing for us to take right here. I'm looking for variations. There's no variations for us to take. There's no K2SR rejections because there's prices not touching the zone over here, right? So let's take a look at the overall bias again. So looking over here at the retail sentiment's changed 1 percentage point. It's now 55% long. So it looks like people are attempting to buy the dip. If that's the case, then, you know, price might continue dropping actually, which is a good thing because we'll do the opposite of everybody else. Fundamentals are currently down almost 400 points. So it's down 385 points right now. Let's leave it at 300. It's not a big deal. It's not like a huge change. 4-hour trend. Let's take a look at the 4-hour trend. It is neutral, so it's starting to change. 1-hour trend is still bullish. 30-minute trend is bearish. 15-minute trend is bearish. All right, 30-minute trend is neutral. 15 is bearish, and a 10-minute is also bearish. So here we go as price retraces up. Yeah, Sam said it's been a while since he's seen a triple confluence lose. Yeah, no, exactly. Same here. So this was actually, yeah, that same entry that we looked at right there. Sam was actually a triple confluence, looks like. I wasn't looking at it from that perspective. But I mean, I can't tell because I can't remember where this candle was right here, because it looks like it could have like basically barely tripped the full 10. Actually, no, I don't know. No, it barely missed it. But yeah, I haven't seen that happen in a long time. It was also around news time though, so that's, you know, that would have had an impact on it. But I agree, Sam. I haven't seen one lose in like ever. It's probably the first time I've ever seen it on the live. There was crazy movement though, so something to you know, keep in mind. We have news coming up right here in about 3 minutes. Crude oil news. If the OPEC news furthers, then it's gonna have an impact on the market because crude oil falls under OPEC. OPEC's basically all gas or all oil in general, gasoline, natural gas, natural oil, etc. Crude oil. And we'll see, because that's basically the talk of CNBC right now. It's the OPEC meeting. Florida hedge fund could reap around 200 million on Twitter arbitrage bet. Nice. See if there's anything else over here. Yeah, exactly. Peter said OPEC is the oil mafia, literally. Yeah, I remember during COVID when OPEC was they had OPEC meeting like it was like twice a month, I feel, because there was nobody buying oil because everything was closed. And every time they released a news report, it would just spike price up. Well, a lot of people were trading oil. If you guys were part of K2 like a long time ago, pre-COVID and around COVID, a lot of us were trading oil, or not really trading, we're gambling oil, because you could just sell oil. And I think the price of oil went negative. It was like it went down so heavily. It literally went down to zero. You could like sell oil, make a ton of profit. But then when you try to get a payout from your broker, they'd be like, oh, there's a mistake. If you guys remember that. Yeah, John, you were for sure here, because I remember you were like big on oil during that time. You were like selling oil like crazy. And I remember like a lot of people are having trouble getting withdrawals, or their trades just wouldn't get recognized. Or what happened was they get into the trade and then they couldn't get out of it once they were like huge in profit. All right, so here's a news candle right here, crude oil inventory, I believe. I'm going to mark it up right here. So the downside about this right here is that it's below this zone, so we can't have any more SR entries down here. So we're kind of screwed at this point. Let's see, 7 o'clock or 7:30. US news. News at news is right here, and it was positive. Not bad. I'm still yawning. I started changing up my morning routine, guys. So I run a couple miles in the morning, and I get my day started early at 5 o'clock. I thought that was going to help me from yawning, but this market is really that boring. I thought it was because I was waking up so late, but I guess that's not the case. This market is just kind of slow and choppy and boring. So you can see right here on open, price pushed up, ranged for a bit, pushed down, and now it's just ranging down here. So there isn't really any clear direction at this moment. Peter said, you know why Wall Street traders do coke? LOL. I know, right? Keep them awake, especially during these types of conditions. So there's nothing for us to take right here, guys. Let me go and just make some changes right here real quick. I mean, it looks like price is attempting to squeeze at least a little bit. All right, so we got a lot of liquidity right here sitting down this area. Looks like price is starting to shift to the downside, but there's nothing we can take right here. There's a pivot scalp that's possibly coming up, but not one that we can take because it looks like it's going to be too big. Also not one that I'm looking to take just yet. Yeah, the candle's a little big. It's a little way too big there. Definitely no entry from there. I mean, it looks like it's gonna hit, but not one that I take. Candle's just too big. Let's take a look at the overall trend again. 4 hour is neutral. 1 hour is still bullish. This is going to be the key thing here. If this starts to turn bearish or neutral, then I think everything's going to start dropping even further, because it's going to start shifting the trend, right? So right now it's neutral on the 4 hour, it's bullish on the 1 hour. This is going to turn neutral at some point. 30-minute is still neutral as well, but this looks like it's going to shift as well. Actually, a 30-minute is now bearish. So we are looking for sells here. It looks like the trend bias is now shifting to the downside. Nice. Patrick said he grabbed the pivot scalp as it came down for 900. Nice work, Patrick. I was tempted on taking that as well, but you know, I've been burnt too many times where the candle here is too big and I enter it when I shouldn't, and then I'm getting burnt. But I'm glad that it did hit for you. You guys took that pivot scalp that I marked up right here, full TP. Let's see. There's another entry here, Maddie, for your continuation. I'm not looking to take any continuations right now, though. It's just a little overextended. After getting burnt on that continuation yesterday, I'm a little more careful with taking them. Yeah, Maddie said he's chilling for now. Yeah, no, I agree too, Maddie. You should probably chill. So looking for K2SRs and looking for these variations to come up. Don't have any of them yet. Doesn't look like we're going to get any more K2SRs for the day, but possible variations as price continues to move along. But if these start to shift, then I'm definitely looking for sells here at the moment. So retail sentiment has not changed, still 55. Fundamentals are still down as well. Down 410 points. So it's down pretty heavy for a sell. The main thing I'll be looking for here is this 1 hour time frame to see when this starts to turn bearish. Everything else is turning bearish. 4 hours neutral. Just need one more confirmation here. Okay, so this is cool. If we get this buy signal here, this is fine because this will set up for a variation. So I actually want the buy signal here to come up. Once it comes up, we can look for possible V1, V2, V3, etc. Yeah, Maddie said it's trying to test news price. Yeah, I can see that too, Maddie. You might retrace up to news price over here, which is fine. Reject off news price. And then provide for possible entry here for a sell. I have a sell bias for right now. Looks like the direction might continue below. So here's one thing to look at, guys. Or I mean, it doesn't really matter. There's not really much to look at here anyways, because there's no real direction, right? Price pushed up, consolidated, pushed below, consolidated. It doesn't mean price needs to necessarily stay below here. Once it gets close to 8, price can just easily swing right back up. So the thing to keep an eye out for is this area up here. If price does come back to this area, then it's just going to correct back to where it was earlier. If it stays below here, then this will just be considered, you know, the new lower zone. There's just 2 areas here where price can be below opening price or above it. So we'll see where it goes. But there again, today, there's no direction in the market. Just pretty obvious back and forth. All right, so price did come up, test the sessions right there. We get a pending buy signal right here. It's fine. If we get the buy signal right here, we can possibly get a setup for variation entry. Buy signal right there. The only problem is that we needed to be away from like these red flags. If price pushes up too high, it's going to be stuck here at the news price. Pushes up higher, it's going to be stuck here at the opening price. So even if we get a variation from up here, it's going to be difficult to take that unless we get bounced around the area. DeJohn said if it hits that liquidity, he's buying. Oh, up here, yeah. So I mean, keep an eye out for opening price then if you're looking for that, DeJohn. because it'd be a short-term push up. Anything. Some more profits right here from Al. Al's currently up 24,772. Amazing work right there, Al. You have a killer day so far. Patrick over here as well. He's up 5,465. Nice work, guys. You guys are doing pretty good. Dejan said small lot size though, no crazy stuff. Yeah. It's all speculation. If you guys do take speculative trades, always remember to take smaller lot sizes, right? You don't have to take these monster lot sizes for these speculative trades. If you have an official trade that looks very good, then yeah, of course, take your full lot size. But if you're taking these small trades here where you're kind of on the fence, you know, just lower your lot size to half or even smaller than that. That'll help. That'll like relieve your addiction to trading, or you can still be in the position, but you're not going to be risking that much where you can blow your account. I've seen a lot of people blow their account just revenge trading and over trading because they want to pass their challenge so badly. So, you know, this is all coming from experience, not necessarily me, but others in the group. I mean, actually me too. I do make mistakes and I do have issues sometimes with my trade psychology, but most of the time I'm on point with it. Sentiment here is still the same. Fundamentals here are still the same as well. Still down 374 points. Looking over here as price comes back down lower. There just isn't anything going on right here, guys. Unfortunately, price is right at the news price. So even if we were to get something here, we wouldn't be able to take it. This looks like it could have been a V1 double body. We just can't tell what this high with this candle was right here. And either way, we couldn't take it's right at news price. So my main concern is going to be the 1 hour. Keep going on the 1 hour to see if it's changed. 1 hour is now bearish. Or no, not bearish, sorry, neutral. All right, so we definitely have a swing and bias, right? 4 hour is neutral. 1 hour is neutral. 30-minute is back to neutral. So they're neutral, but they are turning bearish. 15's bearish. 10 minutes bearish. Sentiment here never closed. So with that said, if you do get a buy signal here on the 10-minute, this might be a might go the opposite way. So that's something I'll look out for here. You know, if this ends up closing, I'm going to look at it for possible sell. So if it closes with a buy signal, I'll probably look for it to do the opposite and come back down opposite way because it isn't in a strong downtrend. Or we might not even get a buy signal today. That could also be the case. And what a confusing market. Here he goes. Price pushes back up above opening price. So here we go. As I mentioned earlier, guys, this is what I was just discussing. There's no direction, right? Price pushed up, consolidated, pushed down, consolidated. Now it's pushing right back up. If it goes back to this area over here, it's just going to go back into this consolidation over here. But there really is like no clear direction in price. Sentiment, fundamentals are still the same. Maddie said I'm up 3% this week so far. I might trade tomorrow, and that's a hard maybe. Then deficit sit out this Friday. Yeah, no, it's a good idea, Maddie. You know, whenever you guys have issues with your trading, you guys just have to think about what your problem is, right? Like some people have messaged me yesterday. They were telling me that they do really well in the live, but then they just keep trading during Asia and London. They blow all the profits. And they were like asking, you know, what the issue is. And the issue is over trading, obviously. You know, you might not be able to tell right away, but if you can just focus on like what's causing you or what's holding you guys back, you know, if you guys are not profitable right now, but you should be, like if you guys are just here on the live, you guys should be profitable no matter what, because we've been profitable all year. So if you guys have just been focusing on the live sessions, you guys should be perfectly fine. If you guys are still not profitable, you got to go back and think about what you've been doing wrong, right? Just write down what you do. If you have losses, document the losses, look at when you take those losses, what time are those losses come up. One thing that I started to notice for myself is when I trade Asia after 10 p.m. Pacific, that's when I start to lose trades, right? If I trade Asia session. So that's my cutoff. If I do trade Asia, I have to make sure the spread's pretty low. It's got to be below like 200 pips or points on the FTMO trade manager. So it's got to be below 200 spread, and I don't take any trades after 10. That came from my analysis because I realized that all my trades that I lost during Asia happened after 10 o'clock. So after 10 o'clock, I'm done. London, I don't trade London, but same thing happens there. Like typically before, when I did trade London, I realized that my only losses came like between the first 2 hours of open. So between midnight and 2, no trades. Anything after that was a maybe or an okay if things did line up proper. So just something to keep in mind, guys. Like whenever you guys lose trades, just whenever you guys have issues, just make sure to look back and understand, you know, why you're losing those trades and whatnot. So, all right. Other than that, let me see if there's anything else here for me to look at. That's it for right now. I'm still looking for trades here, though, if I can see anything. All right, I don't see anything going on right here, guys. Price is just ranging around the opening price. Came up, hit some liquidity right here, but then it came right back down. Here goes your retest. All right. Let's just go down real quick, see what the overall bias is again. It's 8. So everything here, the 1 hour trend is back to bullish. And if this is helping you guys, you know, just let me know, and I can, if you guys like this, where I put like the overall, I think I'm going to keep doing this because this actually helps me as well. This will just give you a better idea as to like where stuff is sitting, so that you can kind of anticipate where price is likely to go. If there's anything else that you guys would like me to do, just, you know, drop your recommendations in the chat. Like I'm here to make things as easy and as straightforward as possible for you guys, so that you guys can pick up these strategies, apply the strategies, profit with us daily. If there's anything that you guys think that I should do differently, if there's anything that you want me to do differently, just let me know. The only thing that I won't change are the trading times, right? 8 o'clock is my cutoff, and the only reason I do that is because I know the bad trades come after 8. If I do trade again later, it'll probably be around 10. So that's the main thing that I'll probably not change. I know a lot of you guys have been asking for me to stay on a little longer. In some instances, I will do it. For today, again, it's not a good day because there's so many red flags here. The last thing I want to do is sit on the chart for the next hour or so, and then end up forcing trades that are around these red flags. So if this is something where price is like, so this is where I'll stay on the chart, maybe after 8. If price drops below here, and then it starts moving around this area, right? So if it stays down here, then yeah, maybe I'll stay on a little longer. But if price keeps staying around this area over here, where there's just so many red flags, where I'd be tempted to force trades this area, or even this area up here, then I'm definitely just going to call it a day. And that's something that you guys got to keep in mind too, because I see a lot of you guys, you know, say we don't have very many trades, or we don't have any trades during the live session. Today, thankfully, we had at least one trade. We had technically two ones that came up, but we had one efficient trade that we took. You know, you guys should be satisfied with at least 1 or 2 trades. If you guys can take 1 or 2 trades a day and you're making about a, you know, even a 0.5% to a 2% profit per trade, you know, that's a lot. Because the thing is, you just need 10% to pass your FTMO or whatever funding company you're doing. So it's not necessary to take like 5 or 10 trades. You only need about like 1 or 2 trades a day. And then on some days, you're not going to have trades and you can make it up on the other day. Also, you should never force your challenge, right? If you guys are in profit and you're hitting your limit, there's 2 things that'll happen. You'll either get a free retry or you'll get an extension of your challenge. You can get 2 extensions. So there's no need to force your trades, guys. So just keep that in mind. I see a lot of people where they think that, you know, they have like 5 days left and then they need to make 5,000. And they're like, hey, Sean, we're not taking enough enough official trades on the live. And that's fine because you need to, you know, you can use your entire time and they'll give you an extension. Like, I forgot who asked me. Someone asked me yesterday. They're like, hey, Sean, I have about 3 days left on my challenge. I need 500 to pass. Should I just take every trade since we're not taking that many on the live? And I told him that he gets an extension. So, you know, if you just stay patient and you don't take any bad trades, you can easily make that 500 profit or 1,000 profit or whatever you need to pass your challenge. You just got to be patient and take your time with it. So, all right, price is dropping below here. Maybe we'll get 1 more entry before we log off for the day. 750 right now, price is dropping below here. We need a wick rejection off the structure. It's going to have to be around here. So price is going to drop below this point, retest, and continue lower. That is what we need. Let me take a look at the overall bias. 4-hour trend, 240 is neutral. 1 hour is bullish. 30-minute is neutral. 15 minutes bearish. 10 minutes bearish. 1 minute's bearish. All right. So I think we still have a bearish bias here overall. Got a few minutes till 8. So if you guys have any other questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. Otherwise, we will continue to look for at least 1 more trade before we get off today. Just gotta wait for it to come down lower. Let me see the 10-minute if that thing ever came up. No, it didn't. It did not come up from there. All right, so price is still kind of dancing around that area. It's not really doing too much. It's watching your story right now, Peter, with the Twitter HQ. Elon. All right. So, all right, guys, I'm still waiting for it to come below here. It's not down there yet. It's 7:51. We had about 9 minutes till 8. Looking over here at the bias, let's take a look at the sentiment real quick. Sentiment has not changed. It's still at 55. So you're not, a lot of these movements here are not from retail traders. Retail traders are not getting stopped out. There's nothing really happening to the retail traders. This is just market makers, institutions moving price around. So there's not really much to, to base things off right now. It's really just kind of just waiting for something to obviously play out. The volatility just died down completely again. It was moving, so I was waiting for it to come down here. Now price just swung right back up. Looks like it may retest the news price right here, possibly bounce off and come back down lower. Looking over here again at the long-term bias, neutral, bullish, neutral, bearish, bearish, bearish. So there isn't really much of a clear bias here at all either. So the long-term bias for the trend is neutral to bullish. Short-term bias is obviously bearish. Medium, or I guess middle trend, is neutral as well. So, I mean, price can really go either way. I think overall price may make its way down, especially because the 4-hour trend is starting to change, or it has changed. But I think the threshold here is going to be the opening price. If price stays above opening price right here, then this 4-hour trend is going to turn back to bullish. And then if that becomes the case, then the 30 minutes is going to turn bullish. And this is just going to keep changing here from what I see. There's nothing going on right here so far. See if there's anything else that I'm missing. Oh, and one thing too that I want to mention to you guys is that there's a scam group that's like adding people into it. Barack over here sent this to me. So he got added to this group right here that says Kodi Kai Trades. You can see the picture here is kind of like, you can see it's copied because it's obviously like grainy. They just basically copied the group name and then they just added Kodi Kai Trades 1. So I mean, scammers going to be out there. So if you guys get added to another Kodi Kai Trades group, just make sure that it's not. I mean, yeah, opportunity comes, but only ones. Like, just read their description sometimes because it just doesn't make sense. But yeah, thanks, Barack. Barack actually just made the room. Thanks, Barack, for giving us the heads up with the scam group, who's basically impersonating the K2 group or Kodi Kai group. Yeah, Peter said I exit and report groups that I'm added to. No legit group will add random people. Exactly, Peter. And I recommend you guys do the same thing. So there was a V1 right here, double body, but it was at news price and there was a signal on the candle. So there's a V1 right there that came down, would have been a full TP. Here goes price, pushes around. I know, right? C6 said only one's what? Yeah, typically a lot of these scam groups, their English is going to be pretty bad. It's probably the same scammer from before. So just keep that in mind, guys. And the only way to sign up to Kodi Kai or K2 is on the website. So I'll never, yeah, Peter had to say it, right? I don't want to say it, but Peter said it. Yeah, anyways, there's only one place to sign up to K2. I'm never going to ask you guys for Bitcoin. I'm never going to ask you guys to pay through any other type of form. The only way to sign up to Kodi Kai or K2 is on the website. So it says Kodi Kai Trades right here, .com. This is where you guys can sign up. If you guys have tried to go to the K2 website, it's gone now. Basically, the hedge fund that took over it, they gave me this like weird landing page where it just says K2 Trades has been rebranded to Kodi Kai Trades, moved to a new website, which can be accessed here. They just put this on here and then you can go on the website right there. So you can see that they have access to it now. So I don't have access to the website or the emails anymore. If you guys are going to email me, it's the same thing. It's just Sean at KodiKaiTrades.com. It's no longer K2 Trades. So, all right, back to the charts. It's getting close to 8, guys. If you don't get an entry here anytime soon, I'm just going to wrap it up. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. Yeah, Barack said that scammer's been on your case for some time now, huh, Sean? Yeah, exactly. No, he's been following us for a while now. Even after I closed the signups, he's still being on the case. But I mean, it is what it is. Scammers are going to scam, so just don't fall for the scams, guys. I'm never going to ask you for any Zelle payments, PayPal, Bitcoin, anything really. You have to go directly to the website. So we have a possible K2 SR rejection entry right here. If this closes as a moderate red candle, this can be possibly an entry here, but it doesn't look like it's going to close in the next, or actually, I don't know, we'll see. If it's a maybe candle, we're definitely not going to take it. It can't close like in the last 5 seconds. So it's 5 seconds out. Doesn't look like it's going to close. It definitely does not close. Price is now above the structure. So with it being above the structure, this is going to be an issue because we cannot take anything without the wick rejection off the structure, which we can't get unless price stays below it. So it's 7:59 right now, guys. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat right now. Otherwise, we'll be wrapping this up shortly. It's about to be 8 o'clock. Price is pushing back up. We're not going to have any wick rejection off any of the structures here. There's no variations coming because we don't have any pending momentum. So there's just nothing for us to take over here at all. So, all right, guys, it's going to be 8 in about 15 seconds. So let me just take a look at everything over here real quick. Sentiment did change by 1 percentage point, not very much, 56% long. Fundamentals over here are currently down 417 points. Slow down pretty heavy. 4-hour trend is neutral, I'm assuming. It's neutral. 1-hour trend is bullish still. 30-minute trend is bearish too. 15-minute trend is bearish as well. 10-minute trend is bearish. So I think price will continue dropping. I think that's the case here. Price will continue to drop eventually throughout the day. It might retrace up a little bit, but I think overall price will start to make its shift to the downside, especially because the longer time frames are starting to change as well. 4-hour trend is currently neutral right now, but this can switch at some point. This is the main thing here. If the 1-hour trend changes from bullish to neutral, then I think definitely price will continue to drop even lower from that point. It's just a matter of time and patience. Once you guys get that, it'll line up and you guys can take the entry. So, all right, guys, it's 8 o'clock right now. Today we took one official entry. Just one. I took a couple of pre-market entries here, but there was only one that we saw during the live session today, which was this one over here, which hit full TP. So if you guys took profit on that, great. If you guys have profits to post up, feel free to post them up. Otherwise, I will be posting everyone's profits later today. So I think I've already showed you guys mine. So after just, and this is what I'll show you right here. So I'll show you what my total profits for the day are so far. So my total profits are 25.90 plus 29.40 plus 27.10 plus 25.40 plus 25.40 plus 25.40. So for this day so far, this is how far I'm up across all my accounts, right? This is for the pre-market trades and for the live trades. For the live trades only, I'm currently up, so 360 times 3 plus 360, or no, not 360. It's 400 plus 560 plus 460. So this is how much I'm up from just this live session, just from trading with you guys for about an hour. This is what's possible if you guys can just be patient and wait for one trade. Even if you were to make 1,000 off one trade, that's still pretty good because, you think about it, as I mentioned before, you just have to do the math. This is how much I made for just the live trades. And this is how much I made across all my accounts for the pre-market trades. Realistically, if you're looking at a job, if you're getting paid even 20 an hour times 8, that's only 160. If you made, just one trade here, you made 460, you would have made about 3 times what you would have made working a normal job at $20 an hour. So just keep that in mind, guys. Whenever you guys are making profits, you guys don't have to make like 10, 20,000 a day, right? You can make 1,000 a day, or you can make a couple $100 a day. You're still making more than most people out there. So just keep that in mind. Look at the long-term picture, look at consistent profits daily, and they'll add up by the end of the week. So other than that, guys, I think that's it. I'm gonna wrap it up at that. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, I will see you guys back here, same place, same time tomorrow for the next live session as we continue on with this trading week. So other than that, guys, I will see you guys tomorrow morning.